It better work. All right. And then I'm going to check the YouTube page real quick, see if we're live.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. Content. Okay, well, let me see. Sorry, man.
You're good.
Figure this out.
I'm just chilling. Just watching the Yankees play the Red Sox right now on the screen.
Oh, oh, dang, that's a good game.
Watching them.
How far back are the Red Sox? Are they pretty far back?
They're only down one right now.
No, I mean like in the standings, because the Yankees are ahead of them.
Oh
right?
yeah, they made it to the playoffs. This is the first round. This is wild card.
Oh, this is wild card. I haven't been following.
They barely squeaked in.
Oh, that's crazy.
They squeaked in on a walk off on like the last game.
Gotcha. It looks like we might be. I think we're good. I'm gonna link it to the league and see.
I'll check it on mine too. Make sure for you whenever you send it.
Here, I'll send it to you individual message, and then you click on it, and then you see if it's working.
All right.
And then if it is, I'm just gonna end it and then restart it so it's not.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me. Now that I know what to do, I'm gonna end the stream.
Yeah.
And then second. Welcome in, everybody. This is week 5 of Spoonin' with Nick. I wish it was Nick and Jake, and we had a third guest on here with Garrett. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm very tired. I didn't know how this was going to go today. I felt like the energy was low today. I didn't feel like we had much support in the chat when I posted about the pod. I think some teams might be down. People are losing players left and right. I'm like, I bet we get like 2 people. To in. So we'll see. Are you how are your spirits? That's the only thing that matters.
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm just chilling.
Watching some baseball.
Watching some baseball. Yeah.
All right. So hold tight, everybody. I'm just going to make sure that this link is working. It should be, and I'm going to post it to the chat. And there should be no more lags after that, and we'll get into it. So we'll go to the league chat. At all, we are live. And boom. We'll wait.
All right.
Cool, man. So I just want to dive into it. I ask all my guests just some questions to get into it. So just the first question for you, man. How are you feeling about your squad? I mean, you had a win this week. You're 4-4. I just kind of want to hear from you because I only get to message you about trades and hear your emotional reactions every once in a while. But I want to hear in person how you're feeling about the rest of the season and how it's gone so far.
No, I'm just right now my teams. I feel like they're underperforming. I'm getting kind of lucky with my matchups. Like Patrick had a down week because Malik got hurt, so I kind of got lucky there because he easily could have put up 20, and then it would have been a really really close matchup.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. At least I'm 4-4. It could be worse, especially with how my team's been playing. So I guess it's only up from here. So
Yeah.
I guess kind of not. Would like to make some more trades, but no one responds to my offers. So
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to point out any names, but I mean, there's one person I'm interested in right now in our league, trying to the typical suspect that's not responding to trades.
thank you.
And I'm hoping he's watching right now because I don't care if he doesn't want to. I just want a response back.
Right.
I think since I send out, both of us do this. I think we're probably the most active traders in the league.
Yeah.
I feel like I inspire other people to make trades. I'll send them a tentative offer and then I'll see another deal go through. And I don't think that would have happened if maybe one of us didn't send someone a message. So
Yeah,
I think that,
yeah, I've seen that happen a lot already.
like, I think Adam's deal with Baker Mayfield, we'll get into it when we get into the transactions, but I started messaging him and he was actually engaging. And before you knew it, Tootin was dealt. So, but yeah, so sounds like you're even keel, like you're optimistic. It could be worse. It could have been better, but you've made some really savvy moves. You've made some really crucial start decisions that we'll get into as well. But I agree with you. I'm at the same spot at 4-4. I'm happy with where I'm at, not satisfied. But both of us are in the hunt, and that's all you can ask for in this super competitive league.
Right.
Yeah. So, man, that leads me into, okay, what has been through 4 weeks? What has been your favorite move of the year? Whether it's waiver, trade, sit, start. What's your favorite move you made?
Let me go back and look at my recent trades and stuff. I can for sure tell you the one that I would take back already, and that would be the trading Benson for Kyler.
Trade.
That was trading Benson for Kyler, and then also trading away what's his name, Garrett Wilson. Because I didn't believe in Fields, but I should have at least waited and watched 1 week before making trades, which killed me. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of flipped who I got, and got a decent player until he got hurt. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
But my favorite trade, I guess my favorite trade is getting Addison, because I mean, I kind of fleeced him a little bit, but you never know. I mean, CMC could go down, and then Brian Robinson could take off. You never know.
I don't know. Even if Brian Robinson goes down, and let's say, I'm sorry, not Brian Robinson, CMC goes down,
Yeah.
and it's Brian Robinson, he's not going to have the same impact that CMC had. I mean,
Right.
he's just going to be a serviceable guy.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see Addison back in action and like putting up the work that he did game back off the suspension. You have to be happy about that.
He had that one long ball that I thought he was about to score, and then at that point, I was really hoping that Jawan Jennings wasn't going to play, because I had the auto sub in, and I was just hoping. And then he ended up playing and putting up like 5 points, which really pissed me off. But
yeah, no, I think that's your best move for sure. What did that conversation with Jonah look like? Because Jonah's been really stingy, man. Like,
he got super scared when James Conner went down, so he was starting to reach out more about him. And at first, I was like, I'll do Fab for him. And then I was like, you got a lot of receivers. Let me get one of them. And he's like,
Wow.
all right, one. I said, I would like Addison. And I know, obviously, that's not a fair trade head up, but I'll send you Fab, because I know you're pretty low. You spent like $700 on somebody. I don't even know who you picked up, but it was like $700 Fab for him. So I was like, I figured you could use some Fab. Yeah. I think he was pretty desperate for some Fab and his handcuffs. So I think he did sell pretty low on Addison.
So would you consider yourself a trade predator?
Not really. I mean,
You're praying.
He was the one talking about Brian Robinson. I was like, are you still wanting to do a trade? He's like, yeah, I will.
No, I think that's the best way to go about trades, is like, because you don't just send out random offers. You looked at his roster and you're like, okay, you have a plethora of wide receivers, and you communicated that to him, and you communicated the value that you could give him. So I'm hoping he saw the pod and how the big deal we made about handcuffs. I hope that made an impact.
Yeah, it did. I think it did, honestly.
You're welcome.
Because y'all were talking about it, and me and him we were actually playing. I think it was 2K or something. And I was like, you need to listen to the pod, because y'all started talking about it. And he listened. I think that helped influence him a little bit. I might have messed with him there a little bit, but it's all right. He'll be fine. He's got a ton of receivers that are good. So.
Well, we're going to get to Jonah when we get to the contenders and pretenders segment, and I'll leave this up for interpretation to the viewers of where he lands in that. But I think Jonah's going to be happy with what we have to say about his team. So you kind of went over your moves of the year. This is just a question I had, just a fun little question. if you could make a trade just like a 1-to-1, like one, not make it super complex. If you could make one trade with one roster in the league and you could force the trade to go through, and it has to be realistic. You can't just like, okay, what player would that be from what team? And what would you do?
So that's kind of tough just to choose one player, I guess. Probably, obviously, I would like to send either maybe one of my receivers for like an okay running back, somebody I could just throw in the flex, or send Bowers for like, I don't know. It just kind of depends on how people value him, because there's some people like, I know Jake does not like Bowers at all, absolutely cannot stand him. But then I know Cheney has him in like 2 other leagues, so I know that he likes Bowers pretty much, or pretty good. So I don't know. It just kind of depends on the person. But I would like to get like a pretty good running back for Bowers, just straight up.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. That helps me because I might be in the market. So,
All right.
I mean, okay, let's just talk about it. I mean, what do you think about Woody Marks, man? I'm not gonna try. I don't know about my other guys. I want to give you someone who's going to start, someone who's going to have some juice. Is that not enough?
Woody Marks is definitely not enough for Bowers. Like, not even in the same realm, I would say.
So basically, if I sent this to you,
I don't even think I would trade you David Montgomery for Woody, honestly. Even if I didn't have Gibbs.
that's
Well,
crazy.
he's just a question mark right now. Like, he had this one good week. I know his snap count or whatever is increasing, but like, we don't know if Mixon's gonna come back. They may make a trade for somebody. You never
Oh,
know.
no way, dude. So the reason I've been stashing Woody, and this isn't me trying to sell him, I totally get all that. Like
Yeah.
I think if that went through the league chat, you'd get roasted. But public perception does not mean, and you losing a trade on the surface does not mean that you lost the trade. But I've been stashing Woody because they actually in the draft they traded a future 3rd-round pick to move up, and the 3rd-round pick of this year to go get Woody Marks. They traded 2 3rd-round picks to move up in the 4th round to grab Woody Marks. And all the reports are saying Mixon's not coming back, which sucks because I drafted Mixon and he's been on my bench. But that's why I picked up Woody. But if you remember, there was a guy with a weird name that ended with a Y last year who was kind of an unknown 4th-round rookie who ended up surprising by the name of Bucky Irving. And I think there were probably some trade offers for Bucky for a guy like maybe Brock Bowers or someone like that last year. And people are like, I don't want to draft. I don't want to trade a guy named Bucky, trade for a guy named Bucky. So maybe just sit on it, and I'll reach out next week when he drops another 30.
Yeah, I probably won't, but it's
Yeah,
hard.
I know. Okay.
It's hard to do 1-for-1 for Bowers. That's the only thing I'll say. Like, I don't want anything crazy. I would prefer a 2-for-1 with people getting injured, and then especially needing a running back.
No, I feel you, dude. I got to shoot my shot. I'll always shoot my shot.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move into some like trades and acquisitions for the week. So you can chime in at any time. When you're spooning with me, we are one. I tell all my guests that. So feel free to jump in. This is your show when you're here. So we have trades and acquisitions. We have Jonas Team, the Cougar Catchers. They dropped, as you said before, $722 of fab on Trey Tucker.
He did end up telling me that he said he canceled that waiver, but apparently he told me he did. He didn't complain to Jake or anything, try to get him to send it back, but he was like, I could have swore that I deleted that waiver, or at least put it down a lot. From
Here's how we know he's lying. He started him this week.
Yeah, that is true, but so, I think he wanted him, but I don't think he wanted to put 722 on.
I don't know.
It's somewhere in the 200 range, maybe, but not 700.
That's all. Yeah, I don't know how you actually do that.
Yeah,
that's good to know. Yeah, I don't think he. I don't believe him at all. We got the Jokers.
Yeah.
We got you dropping 140 on Jalen Tolbert in wake of the CeeDee Lamb news. What did Jalen Tolbert do this week?
He had 10 points. I mean, he could be a flex guy, I guess, depending on the matchup. But yeah, I just know the Cowboys like throw the ball a lot. Dak likes to spread it around a little bit, so you never know. He could be a touchdown guy that week, or he could be a 6-point guy that week. You never know.
Well, you made like 20 transactions this week, so I think you're just throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks. And I'm doing the same thing. because teams like us, I mean, that are just like kind of middle of the pack right now. If you're not offended that I say that we're both kind of there.
No, not at all. I should be below the pack, honestly, but
Well, same. I just think if we're not grinding, we're not doing our due diligence, and we're complacent. Like there's some teams. I wanted to say this, and I was going to save this for later, but I lost by 1 point to Cole this week, and it hurt so bad because I just thought it was my week, man. Ashton Genty went off, had 36. I watched it live, watched his first big touchdown run, and I just thought this was my week, you know.
yeah.
Coming into the week, I thought we were both going to miss the median and that I was going to win my matchup. The reverse happened. I made the median, but I lost my matchup, and I'm glad I went 1-1. But I definitely expect to go a 2-2. But what lost me my matchup, Garrett, was I was watching the Raiders and Bears game, and there was an over snap by the center, and it happened to touch Caleb Williams, and he lost 2 points, and they credited him as a fumble. That's what lost. I mean, really, is that what lost me? No, Caleb Williams sucks. That's what lost me my matchup. The fact that he only had 8 points and he could have played a lot better, and he threw an interception too. But I wish the Mossad cared about people because I would ask him to change that. But I know that he would probably deduce like 10 points from my team for me asking, and then I'd miss the median. So it just sucks. Fantasy football sucks. I hate it, and I love it. But anyways, the reason I say that is because Cole's team, man, I went to his profile, and you can look at anyone's transaction report for the season. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you're creepy enough like me to do that. I went and looked because I was like, I don't see him active. Like, I don't see him like grinding on the waivers. He's just sitting back. He gets these. I mean, he has a good team. He's going to come up on the contenders, pretenders segment. But if you had to guess how many transactions he's made so far, how many would you guess?
Knowing Cole, probably just like 4. They're probably made between the weeks of week 0 to week 2.
So he has made 3 transactions. He added Isaiah Tesla. He dropped. This doesn't even count as a transaction, but I will throw it in there just to be kind. He dropped DeAndre Hopkins, and then he made the trade of sending Fab to Josh for Rachaad White. But that's it. He's. I guess when you have a solid team, you don't have to do much. You don't have to grind like us, but I would still be grinding. If you look at his bench, you got Rashid Shaheed, you got Isaac Tesla, guys who aren't really doing much. Tyrone Tracy is out on his bench. He should be grinding a little bit more, in my opinion, to stay competitive. I mean, he does have a good team, especially when CeeDee Lamb comes back. But that's just my opinion. I don't know what you think about that, but I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
So going back into the transactions, we have Randy's nuts. He dropped a bunch of money on the Broncos defense, 123 for them to only give him 10 points. I snagged the Lions defense, and they gave me 22 points. We got your team and Jonah's team that we already talked about, Jordan Addison for Brian Robinson. And then I traded DK Metcalf for Travion Henderson. And I want to hear your thoughts about that.
I think that's a good pickup, honestly. I like Travion. I think he's going to take over that backfield sometime soon. I don't like the other 2 guys in that backfield. And DK is like a 10-point guy. I think his floor is his floor is around like 8, but his max is like maybe 14, maybe more if he scores a touchdown like this week. But
it was tough because I still like the trade, because when I made the trade, what pushed it over the top, because I wanted to get Travion back because I drafted Travion, made a deal with Randy. So now I got my guy back because I believe in him, and I believe it's only week 4 and it's a long season. Like you said, I think Travion will take over. He's got the most juice. He scored a touchdown this week. But I was thinking about it, and I was looking at it. Randy and I play each other this week, and DK had a bye. So I was like, if I can snag Travion ahead of his breakout and take DK so he doesn't have to play against me, that helps me against Randy's team because I don't just look at Randy's team and Randy's a self-proclaimed dumpster fire. I don't see it as an easy win. He has some guys on that roster that can pop off. Randy's not. I know he's 0-8 right now, but and I know people might think that's crazy to say that he has a competitive roster, but I don't put him out at all. As far as upsetting people, do I think he's going to go on a run and make the playoffs? Unfortunately, no, unless something drastic happens. I mean, things can happen, waivers, stuff like that. But that was my thought process with the trade. I still stand by it, but it was really hard as a Steelers fan to watch that game and watch DK take off for 80 yards, and then I lose my matchup against Cole. And if I were to keep DK, I would have won my matchup. So fantasy football sucks. If I have
Yep.
all right, moving on. Let's pick this up a little bit. I'm moving a little slow. We have Adam's team, Mechie Mulligans, and the Handcuff Haters, the new Handcuff Haters. Automatic win. Kyle's team changed his name to the Handcuff Haters after last podcast when we were criticizing people who didn't pick up notable handcuffs. And Baker Mayfield for Bayshall Tootin. Who cares, right? And then he didn't start Baker. So that's awesome. All right, matchup recap real quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but what were some key things, Garrett, that you saw this week? I mean, there were some close matchups. There's a few things I want to say, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I guess my only matchup thing was I was pulling for Josh last night. I wanted him to go 2-0, but then with the Garrett Wilson touchdown, which I still don't think he caught the ball in bounds, but they called it a touchdown or whatever. So he ended up losing that against Jonah, and then obviously, I mean, Bo Nix was playing the worst defense besides the Titans maybe in all of the NFL. So he was going to get his points. So I mean,
yeah, no, I think that's one of the biggest stories here. I think we'll say on Josh. What do you think this means for his season? Do you think this week was make or break for Josh to get 2-0?
It was make or break, but it's not. I mean, he easily could. I mean, he's lost to the median. He's got 7th place, like I think 3 or 4 times now. Maybe every single week he's been just out of the top 6. So I mean, I still think he has a really good team. He's just getting unlucky, especially with like the Garrett Wilson late touchdown. Bo Nix having an easy defense to play against. I mean,
Whoops.
there we go.
There we go.
The Garrett show for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's done for it. He's 1-7. He has a lot of I don't know. He has a lot of hope, I would say, because I mean, he's got Cam Scatterboot, who's the RB1 now, and also Trey Benson. I think his team's about to take off, and he's going to be hard to beat. But they just got to show up and perform finally because it's been taking them a minute.
Yeah, and I was going to message Josh today and ask him a question, not even about his team or anything, but I was like, just knowing Josh, he probably wants left today. I could see he was probably pretty upset that he didn't go 2-0 this week. So I just wanted to leave him alone, but I just think if you're Josh, and like you and I mean, we're 4-4. I mean, there's no stretch of the imagination that we could lose the next couple weeks and then be in a worse spot than Josh. So we have to put that in perspective. And if you're Josh, you have to look at this as if almost there's not a median. You have to look at it as if there's 4 games that are played and you're 1-3 in your matchups. If you're 1-3, that's a manageable deficit to overcome. So I think if he can look at it as 1-3 and not 1-7, I think it's a lot better and it's manageable. So
right.
Yep. All right. So matchup wise, obviously I lost to Cool by 1 point, but we both made the median, which was encouraging. And then I did call out to start the week, upset alert. Adam is finally not undefeated. He went 0-2 this week. As I predicted in my matchups, you had Zach's team beating him, and not by a lot, so it wasn't that crazy. And then there was a whomping put on by the Mossad to Kyle, which that happened late. That was last night with Cortland Sutton and Devon Achane that really pushed it home. That was a close game. And then you had some guys. You had some guys like Cheney win, and you had Jonah that made the median. So it was a crazy week. And then, man, this kind of just takes me into the injuries of the week. Malik Neighbors from the Blanton Bombers. That's a devastating injury. I know. I know that Patrick was looking to trade Malik, and he obviously didn't. What do you think this does to his team?
I mean, it's it's pretty detrimental. His receivers go down pretty bad. Let me pull up his team real quick. I mean, Calvin Ridley started off terrible. He might not even be the wide receiver one for the Titans, who have the worst offense in the whole NFL. I'm pretty sure there's college teams that could beat the Titans right now. They're so bad.
You really think that?
Yeah, I can't stand the Titans. I wish we'd fire everyone and just completely rebuild from the bottom.
Brian Callahan's terrible.
We're so bad. We're gonna have to rebuild or rebuild. It's that bad.
It's so frustrating, man.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I would like to see him dish out one of his. He's got 3 solid running backs. I'd like to see him dish one out. Maybe try to get 2 receivers for him, or I don't know, just make a move to get some more depth, especially in the league going out, because he was relying on him pretty heavy at the receiver position, and he's going to be pretty low there. So yeah, even with McLaurin out, that's even worse. I didn't realize that. He may play week 5, but you never know.
Don't you think he should? Yeah, I'm going to talk about this later. But sorry, I cut you off, man.
No, you're good. I think you should trade one of his running backs. Maybe try to get a 2-for-1, possibly, if he could pull that off.
I mean, if that's true, then his best bet. I mean, what do you think about Kyren and Javonte Williams? I mean, Kyren has the name value, but Javonte's played better.
Javonte played better, but let me pull this up. I'm pretty sure he scored a touchdown. He scored a touchdown almost every week except for one. And the one week he didn't, he had 12 points. So I think
he's touchdown dependent.
He's very touchdown. Well, yeah. But, the Cowboys seem to like to run the ball and they get close to the end zone. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he could get more for Javonte or more for Kyren? I say Kyren based off the name.
Name-wise, Kyren. Just because – well, they have started. The past 2 weeks they've played pretty tough defenses, and they're about to play the 49ers again. I mean, the end of the year schedule looks a whole lot easier than the start. So I mean, I could see him take off. So I don't know. Maybe Kyren just for the name.
Yeah.
But I mean, Javonte would be a sell high right now anyway. Maybe Brees is a question mark. I just don't know. He's very up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think he should hold on to Brees. I think maybe hold on to Javonte, and I would just try to trade Kyren for whatever 2-for-1 he can get, even if it's like something lowball that, that isn't something he necessarily loves, but he needs something to give him points. Like that's what I was trying to trade. I was trying to trade him DK and Devontae Adams for Malik Neighbors because I was like, you can't be rolling out Cooper Kupp and Calvin Ridley. It's great if you have a 40-point week from Malik Neighbors, but if you have nothing else, you're going to lose. I mean, it's happened to me. It happened to me 2 years ago in this league. I had A.J. Brown when he was going on that 7-game stretch of 125 yards. He was blowing up, but I had nobody else. My team sucked. And it's like he had to do something, and he missed the opportunity, but it's not over. He needs to be active in waivers. He needs to be looking for guys that have upside, and he also needs to just make a trade with Kyren or Javonte. So
I agree. He could either dish out one of his quarterbacks. He could even trade Mahomes. I mean, he's got Jared Goff. He could try to dish out Mahomes for a receiver, or that's what he needs is a receiver for Mahomes, basically.
And Mahomes has been playing well. You could sell high on Mahomes.
Oh yeah, he just had a 27-point game against Baltimore.
Which I don't even know if it's selling high at this point. Mahomes has looked good.
I mean, yeah, he's a top 5 guy. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate your thoughts on that. And then we have Tyreek Hill. I don't know about you, man, but when I saw that injury to Tyreek Hill, for some reason
he seemed happy to be injured. It was crazy. He was I don't have to play anymore.
Yeah. No, he was like, I've never seen him that happy ever. Like
I saw a video on it was somebody they somehow caught up to the ambulance that he was in leaving the stadium, and they were like videoing him. He was in the back of the ambulance smiling. There's a full on video of him smiling in the ambulance, like happy as crap. I don't know why, but
which there's two options, right? Like, I mean, in our faith, right, as Christians, like you can be joyful in this world when bad things are going on, or option two, he just is glad that he has his freaking money and he doesn't give a crap about football. That's my guess. But
I mean, if I had to play for the Dolphins, I would be happy if I didn't have to play anymore either. So I
no,
already faked it. Well, I
dude,
don't know because there was they came out and said he had like multiple tears or something, or is that somebody else? I think it was him.
no, it was him. It was him because he dislocated his kneecap, and with that, I mean, all the musculature, all the tendons and ligaments tear with that. So it's like there's so much reconstruction that has to happen. I'm trying to
He
think.
might be done with how old is he? He's like
Well, he's 31. He's 32.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
He's probably done. He's not gonna have that same speed anymore. There's no way.
Well, Jake made a good point last night. He texted me and said, if you remember Marshawn Lattimore for the University of South Carolina back in the day, almost exact same thing happened. And he was a younger player, which technology isn't where it is today. But I mean, he was a younger player, never recovered. Tyreek's 32 and relies on those quick bursts and speed. Like he's
Right.
done. He's done. There's no chance.
Only thing Tyreek has going for him is that he's just super fast.
Yes. But in context of the league for Randy, I think it's really good that he got DK, and that might have worked out for both sides. He can just he can't play him this week, but he can plug him in after this. I think Randy has to be happy because at this point, Randy has to be wanting to upset people and just enjoy the players on his team. So,
Right.
And then we had, I mean, this is a big one too. We have Lamar Jackson on Zach's team, but the good thing about Zach's team, he does have Justin Fields right there on the bench. I mean, basically, I call him Lamar Jr. just without all the passing. So you can just plug him right in. He had a great game last night. Did you see that crazy run against the
Oh
Dolphins?
yeah, it was like a 40-yard run. He was like running around the backfield, and then he finally broke loose, and then I think he
Dude,
score or did he get close?
he's definitely up there with Michael Vick as far as all-time quarterback runners ever. I mean, obviously he's not better than Lamar, and I think Lamar from this point on, I think he's not going to be the Lamar that we know. I think we already see he's running less and less each year, but yeah, Justin Fields is that dude. As far as fantasy football, maybe not for real football.
Oh, yeah.
But so I wanted to say this because it's like, okay, this doesn't matter for fantasy. Why are you bringing this up, Nick? Joe Alt for the Chargers looks like he might land on IR, and that's huge for the pass protection for Justin Herbert and also the running game for Marion Hampton. And if you remember back earlier in the season, the Chargers also lost Rashawn Slater, their other dog offensive lineman. So I think the thing is, when I traded a Marion Hampton for Genty, it was under the assumption that, a Marion Hampton was in a timeshare. But I was like, man, he's a better O-line. Maybe that wasn't a good move. But it seems like the Chargers O-line might be falling apart here. So it's just something to watch if you're Kyle. I mean, it shouldn't impact it too much, but we'll see. And then just for this week, we have Terrion Arnold and DJ Reed, the cornerbacks for the Detroit Lions. They came out of the game, and they might not play this week. We'll have to monitor that. But the Lions play Cincinnati, and I think it's possible without those two playing, I think it's possible that Jamar Chase or T. Higgins has a better game this week. So just something to look out for. All right, so that concludes our injuries. So I'm going to hand out the Silver Spoon Award. I like to do this each week to a team that receives a win that they did not deserve. And I'm going to give this to Cole, the Honeybees, because he should not have won this game. Bucky Irving caught a pass he should not have caught for a touchdown. Dak should not be looking like vintage Joe Montana. Caleb Williams should not have been credited for a fumble. I should have beat him this week, so he gets the Silver Spoon Award for getting it hand-fed to him this week. All right. So let's check the trade block real quick. It doesn't seem okay. Sweet, we got some engagement.
Cheney.
Tyreek. Okay, cool. We're getting engagement. Cheney 4 minutes ago. Okay, so we know it's working. All right, let's look at the trade block real quick. What do you see there, man?
Let me pull it up real quick.
I mean, there's a lot there. So, and I think Jake was just playing. Jake's not serious at all.
I added Addison and Harrison. Wandale Robinson's been added, but good luck for Adam actually like responding back to anyone. That would be nice if he would. We got Woody Marks, like you said, Bowers, George Franklin. We got George Pickens, Achan. Don't think those are real. Waddle, Kittle, Puka, Mark Andrews, Fields, Dobbins, the Vikings defense, Daniels, and May.
Yeah, how about this? How about let's just shoot it straight here. Kyle, take Puka off the trade block.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not you're not going to trade him. Just take
I
him
would
off.
not move him. No.
Jake, take Achan and May off. I mean, I could see Pickens being a real one, trying to sell high with CD out. But quit playing. This is a serious podcast. We mean business over here. So quit playing. And then I mean, Adam put one. It's funny. Adam has the time to add people to the trade block, like you said, but he doesn't have time to respond to trade inquiries. So that's interesting. That's interesting. No, I'm just playing Adam. Adam has a good team. No wonder people are sending him offers. So if I had a better team, I'd probably be getting more offers.
From the one time that I talked to him and asked about somebody, he said he just wanted to hold on to him. So I mean, my only guess is that he just really likes his team, not looking to make moves. Wish he would at least tell me to like get lost or something. Like he can even tell me that.
Yeah, like go pound salt.
He can even say that's terrible or whatever. I just want a response.
Yeah, I would even accept a middle finger emoji.
I would too, but I don't think he would ever send that.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying I would personally enjoy that. Like I'd be, oh sweet, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But so are you serious about Marvin Harrison and Jordan Addison being on there?
I mean, my team, as Josh always says, every player has a price tag. But I don't know. I really just I need a running back at this point. We'll take almost anyone would like to. I would move one of those guys for a running back, or both of them for a really good running back. If someone's willing to make that move, maybe a guy like Patrick, who's got 3 solid running backs and needs some receiver help.
So I'm actually interested. So obviously, would you have? This is actually a real question. I know this might sound silly, but is Marvin Harrison's price tag higher than Jordan Addison's?
For what I'm sold him for, probably.
Okay.
I mean, he had a pretty good game this past week. He started off dropping the ball. If he catches those, he probably has a high 20-point game. So,
well, Garrett, like I said, I have 14 running backs on my team. You might want a guy more like Javonte Williams or Kyron Williams. But after this is done filming, if you're still
maybe a Woody Marks for an Addison sounds like a decent.
I thought about that. I might do that.
I don't know. If you think about it too long, from what I've learned,
Let's do it right now.
You wouldn't do it right now.
You want to do it?
You wouldn't do it.
Would you do it?
Then do it. I might. The worst thing, I accept it.
I don't think I'm gonna do it right now. We'll think about it. Oh
Yeah,
man, I want to do it. I want to do it because it's like an adrenaline rush, and I don't think that's ever happened like live like that. But
you have plenty of running backs. You don't even need Woody. He's just there for show.
well, I might, man. The reason I hoarded all these running backs is because my second round pick is Chase Brown. Man, that's proven to be a dud.
Why don't you trade Chase Brown for Marvin Harrison? Get your boy back.
Would you do that trade?
Straight up, yeah. I really need a running back.
All right. Yeah. Well, how about this? I could see us making a deal tonight. We'll move on with the podcast because this is for the league. This isn't just for let's move on. But
the league would enjoy a trade though. I mean, we can obviously we need to move on because we're already like 40 minutes in.
Hang out in this studio whenever we end the live stream, and we're gonna talk. All right.
Okay.
So moving on. So the trade block, we kind of covered that. Adam trying to trade Wandale Robinson. and the rest are basically fake, other than Pickens, I think. I don't think Zach updated the trade block at all, but he has a bunch of people up there that he's had on for weeks. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, so before we head into like our waiver wire watch, I just wanted to let everybody know the bye weeks that we're going to be experiencing this week and what players on what team is going to be experiencing that bye week. So first we have the Falcons. We have Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts from Cheney's team, Chinese Buffet. And then we have Drake London from the Mossad. Now, Cheney's in an interesting position this week. I texted him today about a potential wide receiver move to send him a running back for his bye weeks. And Cheney told me basically verbatim that he's just taking the L this week, that he prefers to have all of his bye weeks on 1 week. So
that's pretty smart, though. It's pretty smart because then later
you don't have to worry.
There could be some weeks where he could like I'm gonna get screwed week 8. Like I'm probably gonna lose because I have both of my running backs are out. That's why I was like, I guess Gainwell could get me a couple points there, and my tight end's out, so I'm probably cooked that week. So
no, I feel I've made some of the trades I've made have been big picture moves because I don't want to focus too much on like week 8 because I'm 4-4. Like if I was 7-1, I would for sure be looking at week 8 and week 9 and like looking towards the playoffs. But I'm not there yet, so I'm not like looking too far ahead. But it's in my mind, and it's like it's definitely on my radar. But Cheney's in a very interesting position because he's out with Bijan, he's out with Jacobs and DeAndre Swift. He literally doesn't have a running back, like literally, and Tyler Allgeier's on his bench, obviously. So I think Cheney's just going to straight up lose this match, which I don't think is smart. I think he should make some kind of move or like because you could look at this week. Okay, I'm Cheney, right? I'm Cheney. I'm what? What is Cheney? Cheney's
6-2.
6-2, great record, right? But it's only week 4. What if you have a couple unfortunate things happen in the later weeks? What if an injury happens? What if something happens? You start losing some matchups. You're like, man, I wish I didn't just punt on week 5. But like you said, you don't. He made a good point. Like he doesn't want to break the whole season and trade a contributor just to fill in for one spot on a bye week. So
right.
I get it. And then we have the Packers. We have Jordan Love from Randy's team. So Randy's going to have to pick up a quarterback on the waiver wire. We already mentioned Josh Jacobs for Cheney. And then you have Matt Golden for the Honeybees, which it's like, okay, Matt Golden, that doesn't really matter. But for the Honeybees, it does because he already has CeeDee Lamb out, right? And, I mean, he was able to beat me this week without CeeDee Lamb. So that's why I take Cole's team very seriously because once CeeDee Lamb, this was a huge week for Cole to win. This was his first real big week without CeeDee Lamb, and he still got the win, but now he's out another receiver. So Cole might end up having a tough week this week, but we'll see. And then we have the Bears with Caleb Williams, my awesome quarterback. We have Rome Odunze from Zach's team, which is a big one for Zach because Zach's wide receiver core is looking really tough. His next best receiver is T. Higgins, but T. Higgins doesn't have a quarterback. So Zach's team is going to be really, really scarce against the Mossad this week. Then you have DJ Moore on your team, right? You still have DJ Moore, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's hard to tell with me and you. We trade so much. So you're missing DJ Moore, and then DeAndre Swift with the Chinese Buffet, obviously, from the Bears. And then you have DK Metcalf from Randy's Nuts. Can't play him this week, and I have Jalen Warren on the bench, but I have 17 running backs, so I think I'm okay in the running back department. Yeah, who are you? Okay, so who are you playing in place of DJ Moore? I mean, you have a few options. You have
I do. It's just right now, Jawan Jennings, he hasn't practiced 2 days, which last week he didn't practice 2 days and still ended up playing. As of right now, the person I would slide in would probably be either Marvin Mims or Jalen Tolbert. Just because of Kenneth Gainwell being out, I couldn't put him at flex.
So, well, we might make a trade later, and you might have a different option for your flex.
I might. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. That's the bye weeks, and that helps us get into our waiver watch. The bye weeks help us determine, okay, what teams are going to be looking where. Quarterbacks, I think it's really just me and me and Randy's team that both need to pick up quarterback this week. So you have Gino, who sucks. You have Jackson Dart, who had a good game because Jackson Dart had like 10 rushing attempts this week.
Yep.
Like, I mean, he didn't really throw the ball. I didn't watch the tape, so I can't say if he was good or not. I just looked at the stats, which doesn't tell the whole story, but I think he only had like 13 attempts. And then he had 10 rushing attempts, which is crazy. But Jackson Dart plays New Orleans, which you can run on New Orleans. So Dart might be a sneaky play this week.
Yeah.
And then you have Jags. You have just another guy you have Trevor Lawrence. You have Sam Darnold, Stafford, which I said Stafford because Randy actually had Stafford on his roster, so he might have to pick him up again. And then you have CJ Stroud. Running backs, you dropped this guy, which I don't know why you dropped him, probably just because you had to. But DeMarcado, I think DeMarcado, because we don't know enough about Trey Benson. I think DeMarcado might be sneaky. I don't think he takes.
He has some receiving upside, but besides that, I mean, I don't think there's too much. I kind of had to drop him week 8 bye again. I already have 2 Cardinal players. I don't know. If we make a deal with Marvin tonight, I might go try to pick him up, back up. Probably won't, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, it's looking pretty scarce. You have Isaiah Davis. That's a notable pickup, maybe for Patrick because he has Brees Hall, and Braylon Allen just got placed, I think, on IR if I'm not mistaken. He did something to his PCL or something, or his MCL. So Isaiah Davis might be sneaky pickup in case something happens to Brees. We love our handcuffs on this on Garrett. So, or maybe you could, yeah, we'll see. And then you have DJ Giddens and Kendre Miller, still viable handcuffs sitting there on the waiver wire. Kendre Miller had a big game this week. He had like 11 rushing attempts or something. So I could see Jake picking him up just because he's a Saints fan, and I know he has love for Kendre Miller. So don't be surprised if the Mossad goes out there and grabs Kendre Miller. That's my prediction. Then wide receivers, you have Isaiah Bond, Slayton, Nick Westbrook, Akine in wake of Tyreek Hill going out. So there's really not much there. I mean, Slayton might be a sneaky pickup since Malik Neighbors went out. Those targets have to go somewhere. I think the biggest beneficiary is going to be Wan'Dale Robinson. But what do you think about those pickups?
Which ones again? I'm sorry, I was zoned out for a second looking at the.
Oh, you're good. You got Slayton. Darius Slayton, I believe his name is, for the Giants because Malik Neighbors got injured. So maybe that's someone Patrick could go after. Yeah. Isaiah Bond actually looked pretty good for the Browns.
Why did he get so high? Why did they bump him up? Oh, they moved him. He's a key receiver.
Yeah, man. Cedric Tillman got injured.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Cedric Tillman got injured, so those targets have to go somewhere. And Zach has Cedric Tillman, so
I don't know. Maybe them tight ends now. They might split your boy out wide that you got right now. Put him in the slot.
Who's that?
Your boy Fannin or whatever, that tight end.
Oh, yeah.
They may split him out. You never know.
That's why I'm gonna hang on to him, man. And the Browns announced. I don't know if it was an announcement yet, but there's they said that they're probably going to move to Gabriel this week. They're going to bench Flacco. And what is a position on the field that the rookie quarterbacks like to dump the ball off to? The tight end.
I love tight ends.
So hopefully Fannin does something. He's really getting on my nerves. We'll see. All right, tight ends. You do have a few tight end options here. You have Darren Waller, which I think there's going to be a healthy amount of fab dropped on Darren Waller. I don't know who's going to pick him up. I don't know who's really tight end needy other than me. I don't really know who's going to drop all that fab. I don't see Jake dropping anything on him. Maybe Adam. I don't know. Maybe Josh, just for the sake of blocking somebody. But what do you think? Do you think there's going to be a big fab dump on Darren Waller?
I don't think there should be. I mean, he had 2 couple red zone targets, but that's about it.
But Tyreek's out now, so
he only played 28% of snaps too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like to chase those touchdowns for sure, but I mean Tyreek is out. So if Tyreek was still playing, I'd say don't chase it. But Tyreek's out, and those targets have to go somewhere.
It could be a chase, yeah.
But I grabbed Malik Washington right before the game.
That was a good pickup.
I don't know what it was, man. I was heading to Costco with my wife, and I saw the time. It was like, because I'm at Eastern time, and it was like 7:04, and I was like, oh crap, the game's probably starting. And then I was like, who can I pick up? Because I've seen all your moves, and you kind of inspired me. I'm like, man, I'm gonna be like Garrett. And I was like, okay, if something happens to Tyreek or Waddle, I want to pick up Malik. And sure enough, I don't know. It was just a feeling, and who knows? It probably doesn't turn into anything, but you never know. That's a thing. In
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I do it. On Thursday night games, I will always pick up a receiver, possible backup running back, somebody just in case someone were to get hurt or I don't know, something happen.
we're probably both going to miss the playoffs, but we grind the hardest. That's for sure.
Yep.
All right. All right, and then you have other guys: Mason Taylor, Theo Johnson, Schultz, Isaiah Likely. I saw you picked him up and dropped him. I just don't think. I don't think in that Ravens offense, you just don't know who it's going to be week to week. I don't think
Well,
Isaiah.
they said he was active, and then he didn't get any targets. So I was just like,
Yeah.
not ready yet.
I just don't like the Ravens passing game at all. All right. So this is going to be our big segment of the week, new one we haven't done yet. I wanted to wait after week 4 to do this, but we're going to do pretenders versus contenders. Before I give my list, I already have it written out. I want to see how much your list compares to my list. So I'm going to let you go pick 3 contenders and 3 pretenders.
All right. So I'll start out with the contenders. I obviously got Jake up there. I like Jake's team a lot. I like what he's done. I like the tight end play. I like him picking up Johnson.
He doesn't have a hole. He doesn't have a hole.
No, he really doesn't. And I mean, we've kind of seen his floor, and he's been booming like every single week, and I expect it to continue. Another person is another Marshall, not Josh, but Jonah. Jonah, his team's pretty solid. I like his running backs kind of popped off for him. Let me pull it up. My bad.
Judkins?
Oh yeah, Judkins. He's got CMC, and Kenneth Walker's actually starting to get more love now because at the start of the season, I thought he was going to be the backup, but it seems like he's maintaining that number 1 spot. His receivers are pretty good. As soon as Brian Thomas steps it back up, starts playing good again, I think he becomes unbeatable almost. Because I mean, he kind of had a down week, and I mean, he still had Herbert just put up 13. Herbert's usually like a 20-point guy. So, I mean, I don't know. I think he is going to make a deep run. Could see a Marshall championship, possibly.
Something to look out for.
My last contender is Adam. I like Adam's team. Wish he would make some trades, maybe send Chase off, try to get him a better running back too. Because, I mean, Pacheco's not very good, and Chubb's losing snaps to your boy Woody. So, I don't know. I still really like his team. I think he can make a deep run also.
Yeah.
All right. So, for pretenders.
Well, I'll go into my contenders first, just so we can have like.
All right.
So I had 2 of your contenders. I also have Jake's team for the reasons noted, and I also had Jonah's team. I think when you look at both of those teams, it's not only quality but it's depth. And I look at Jonah's team as the all-risk team. He went CMC, Kenneth Walker, Judkins. It's just crazy that he took those 3 running backs, and they've all been hitting, and all 3 have major risk attached to them. Judkins, we didn't even know if he was going to play this year, but it's freaking worked out for him. Like, Jonah could fall into a pile of elephant crap, and he would smell like a bed of roses. It's just insane. And I don't blame him for being he's a little stingy with the trades, and he very values his players. I would look into maybe trading Brian Thomas if I were him. 4 weeks is a long time to not have any sense or any remnants or any kind of signal that there is something clicking up there. I think he has the yips. I think he's in his head. That's everything I've heard. That's what the analysts say. But Jonah's team is legit. I don't see Jake and Jonah's team going anywhere. If anything, I see them getting better. I did not have Adam's team as a contender. My third contender is Cole's team. Because if you look at Cole's team, Cole is 4-4, so he's the lowest record out of the other contenders that we know. But if you look at Cole's team, his running back duo, I mean, hopefully Bucky's okay. So Bucky's currently, he just got an MRI. Something happened. We don't know. He could be out for weeks, or it could be nothing. But as long as he has Bucky Irving and James Cook, he has such a solid floor. And I mean, I think Tet McMillan, he's definitely disappointed because of the Carolina offense, not because of Tet McMillan. But when he gets CeeDee Lamb back and he has that Dak CD stack, I think Cole has a solid floor, but he also has the boom potential. So that's why I think Cole's team is pretty good, and he's a real contender. He's not a pretender, but I'd love to hear your pretenders.
Some of my pretenders starting off is myself.
Oh no,
Yeah, too many injuries. My team they will all be in the hospital by the end of the year. So yeah, that's why I'm a pretender. Shouldn't be 4-4. Should be more like 2-6, possibly even 1-7. My next one is Cheney. Cheney just sucks, so that's why he's on my pretenders. And then Zaddy. His receiving core is not very good. Besides Odunze, Odunze's popped off this year. Do like his running backs though. Would like to see him probably maybe try to dish one of them out. Maybe a Jordan Mason while he's hot right now before what's his name gets back. Before Aaron Jones gets back, maybe. Try to pick up a better receiver than Darnell Mooney for his wide receiver 3.
yeah.
Especially with him losing Cedric Tillman also. So, I mean, his next best receiver is either Christian Kirk or Luke McCaffrey, which is not very good.
And the thing is, Luke McCaffrey's looked good, but I don't think he's going to get enough volume to be relevant on a week-in-week basis.
I think that put back down when McLaurin's healthy because, I mean, they think he's going to be back this week. So I could see him lose more of that. I mean, he's getting a lot of I think he's been returning punts maybe or kickoffs or something. So,
So we have two teams that match for this. I also had Zach's team, and I reluctantly put Cheney's team on there. I don't think Cheney's team sucks, but I don't think it has the depth to be a true contender right now with Bijan and Jacobs and Amon-Ra and Jaden Daniels. He is a better team than me. I will say that right now. I'm not on the list, but he's on the list because he's relevant. So it's actually a compliment to be on this list because it means that you're at least relevant enough to be considered as one of these. But I think he's a pretender because I don't know if those 4 guys can carry him the whole way. I don't know how much production Io Manor can give him. Pittman gives him a safe floor. Amon-Ra is going to help win him weeks. I might be wrong. I mean, he might have just enough, and those stashes on his bench with Monungai and Higgins, they might end up paying off. Jalen Coker might end up paying off as a nice flex option. But right now I have him as a pretender because of where he is at 6-2. If he was 4-4 or something like that, I wouldn't have him on this list. But it's wait and see for Cheney. He's probably the highest ranked out of the pretenders that I see. But the other 2 that I have Zach's team, just because I don't know. I just think Zach is in a similar boat as Patrick, and I think he needs to make a move before it's too late. And he's actually in a better position than Patrick right now because he has some healthy guys. I think he needs to move Saquon or Rome Odunze to be competitive and maybe get it to ideally Saquon, right? Trade high on Saquon. You could easily get a 2-for-1 for Saquon Barkley and balance out your roster. So I think Zach needs to make a move to be a real contender. And then this is going to surprise some people, but I have Mechie's Mulligans as a pretender. Mechie's Mulligans was undefeated up until this week, but I'm just going to look at his roster real quick. So Ladd McConkey let's just call it what it is. I think Ladd McConkey has completely busted for where you drafted him. He has Nick Chubb as his RB2. He has Pacheco on the bench. He has Tootin that he's just hoping does something with his life. He does have QJ on the bench who's been popping off, but we'll see if he's the real deal or not. Jamar Chase doesn't have a quarterback. Jacoby Myers, he has a really low floor. Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is going to have a good week this week because he has Cooper Rush throwing to him, and he's going to need that check down. But if you just look at his roster, the best player on his roster is definitely Jonathan Taylor, and it's not his fault. He could not predict the Joe Burrow injury. He could not. But the RB2 situation is concerning. He doesn't have a lot of running back depth, and a lot of his receivers are going to have some low weeks like he had this week. I think he was the lowest scorer this week. So you have Adam as a contender, and I have him as a pretender. So we'll see what happens. If Adam makes a couple moves, I think he could definitely get back up there. But he had a rough week this week, so we'll have to see. I think he should make some moves, i.e. with me. So, all right. So along with the contenders and pretenders, I also have a panic alarm and a don't panic alarm button. So my panic alarm button is Patrick's team, is Blanton's Bombers. I think Patrick is still in position to where we talked about this, if he could make a deal, he could save his season. But it's looking rough with the Malik Neighbors news. I'm really tired, by the way. It's an hour later here. So, yeah, I probably sound drunk. And then the don't panic alarm is Josh's team. At 1-7, Josh has a roster where he could run the table. So that concludes our contenders and pretenders segment. Do you have any thoughts before we move on, Garrett?
No, I'm good.
Cool. All right, let's get into the matchups. I'm going to go through the matchups, what I do with my guests every week. I first ask them what they think about the matchup, who they think is going to win, and pick a start of the week. Just one from, not from each side, but just one from the matchup in general. So we're actually going to start with Kyle's team, the Handcuff Haters, against – actually, no, sorry. Wait, am I right? Yeah. We're going to start with Kyle's team against Adam's team. What do you think about that matchup?
I have Kyle winning. I just think he has too much firepower, especially if Brown can actually put up some points this week. I like Hampton, like Kamara. Baker should do pretty good, but it is Seattle. Could be tough. Ferguson will be a good start. Coleman could have a touchdown. Yeah, I just like everything that Kyle's got going right now.
Yeah. Who's your start of the week?
Start of the week is – let me look. Honestly, the man that absolutely beat me is Brandon Aubrey.
Oh, man, going kicker.
On a kicker.
Love it. That's the first kicker we've gotten. That's awesome. No, he's a dog. I mean, he hasn't scored much this year, actually. I mean, it says he's the kicker
great week against me. It's the only thing I remember about him.
Week 2, yeah, he destroyed you 24 points. That's terrible. That is terrible. Yeah, I'm actually going to go. I know I had Adam's team as the pretenders, but that doesn't mean I don't think Adam's team is good. I actually have Adam pulling off the big upset here, and I call it an upset, even though Adam has the better record. I think he has the inferior roster in this matchup, or not in this matchup, but overall. I think Adam pulls up the upset because if you look at this game, Hampton faces Washington. Washington has been able to bottle up people's running backs. They were able to bottle up Genty, which isn't saying much with the Raiders' offensive line, but I had to say something. Puka's playing San Fran. Puka's a dog. He can overcome any matchup, but you never know. San Fran is a divisional game. Divisional games end up being lower scoring matchups. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a big Devontae Adams game instead of Puka. And then you have A.J. Brown facing the Denver defense. Who's going to shadow A.J. Brown? It's going to be Pat Surtain. So I think A.J. Brown has another down week. Pearsall has not practiced. It doesn't look like he's going to play. It's a short week. They just played. He came out of the game, did not return, I don't think. So he's going to have to find another option, maybe bump Keon Coleman up to that wide receiver 3 spot and then play someone like Diggs in his flex, which Diggs had a good game too last week. But I like what Adam has going on this week. He still has Jonathan Taylor. Ladd McConkey has to do something at some point, right? I mean, we have to think that Zay Flowers, he's my start of the week in this matchup. With the addition of Cooper Rush, with the less running from Lamar, I think Cooper Rush is going to need to check down to the best receiver. They're playing Houston, which Houston's not a great matchup considering they have great DBs. They have Derek Stingley Jr., but Derek Stingley Jr. very much covers the outside part of the field. So you could see Derek Stingley maybe going to one of their bigger receivers like a Bateman or a Hopkins, and Zay Flowers kind of playing the slot and getting a lot of PPR points that way. Also Jamar Chase, if those corners for Detroit, Terrion Arnold and DJ Reed don't play, I think Jamar Chase could have a good game. That's my hot take of the week. But Zay Flowers is my start of the week here. So I have Adam's team upsetting the handcuff haters. All right. Moving on, we have the Chinese buffet against Blanton's Bombers. I have this listed as the nasty matchup of the week because if you look at this matchup, like we said, Chaney doesn't have a freaking running back in this matchup. And guess what? Patrick doesn't have a wide receiver in this matchup. So this is going to be a nasty, low-scoring game, and I'm really glad because it's going to take that median down nice and low for us, for teams like us that really need to get lucky. So I want to hear your thoughts on this matchup, but it is going to be a nasty one.
Well, if Chaney's not going to start running backs, you got to take Pat. I feel like. I mean, like he just needs his running backs to do good for him. I mean, Amon-Ra could, and Daniel Jones could both pop off. Pittman, obviously. I don't know. It will be close. Probably the lowest scoring matchup of the week. Somehow Chaney could win. I don't see how with both running backs out, but there's a chance. But I got to go Pat just because if Chaney starts running backs, even if they're like mid running backs, I give him the win. But if not, I give him the L.
He's going to start someone. I mean, it'd be wild to not start anybody. That'd be crazy. But yeah, even if he does start somebody like off the waiver wire, he could always get lucky. I mean, things happen. But I have Patrick's team winning. Who's your start of the week?
Start of the week. Let me think. Oh, it's got to be Amon-Ra. Cincinnati. Oh, he's going to cook them.
Oh, he's going to eat 40 points.
He might score 40 points.
That's what I said. Yeah, 40, easy. I think 40 is the base.
Oh, yeah. He's getting at least one touchdown.
I'm going to say 50.
He probably could get 50 for
real. I'm going to say 50 piece.
He could.
But those are the only points Chaney's going to get from this matchup. So there might be 50 to whatever Patrick gets. We're going to go my start of the week, I picked Patrick's team. I'm going to go Breece Hall against Dallas. I think Breece Hall is going to be able to run against Dallas and have a big game. Breece Hall did good this week. He had 14 attempts. He had almost 6 yards a carry. I think he continues that momentum against a bad run defense. So those are our picks for the first two matchups. We will move on. So next matchup, we have your team, the Jokers, against Jonah's team, the Cougar Catchers. I have this listed as my closest matchup of the week. Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, it's not going to be close. He's probably going to beat me by at least 30 or 40 points. I'm going to say by at least 30 points he's going to beat me by. His team's hot right now, and I only see him balling out.
Is it not a little frustrating that Jonah comes in year one and is just like, yeah, what up? Like,
I mean, yeah. He also drafted a really good team, so it's
still frustrating.
It is frustrating to see, but
yeah. No, it's frustrating. He's a young buck, man. It's hard to see the young bucks coming in here and whooping up on us old people. Yeah, I have Jonah's team winning this week. I'm just looking at the matchup. I have it as a very close game. I actually had to switch it because I try to look beyond the surface and beyond the names. Christian McCaffrey actually hasn't had a good yard per carry this year. He hasn't been super efficient, but he's had just such a high floor with the pass catching. And he's playing a LA Rams defense who's been cooking. LA Rams have looked good. Saquon didn't do the damage that Saquon could have done to them last week. So I just look at that. I look at Brian Thomas Jr. playing Kansas City. Kansas. I don't see Brian Thomas getting it together this week against Kansas City. Kansas City has been playing lockdown against receivers. They played good against the Ravens last week. Garrett Wilson's probably going to cook. I don't know about Keenan Allen. There's so many mouths to feed over there. I don't know how long Keenan Allen can keep it up. Keenan Allen didn't have a big game this week. I think he had a modest week of like 9 points or something like that. But I do have him pulling it out in my start of the week for this matchup. Did you list your start of the week?
I did not, but it's going to be Judkins against the Minnesota because we just saw what Gainwell did last week, and
Yes.
Judkins way better running back than Gainwell, so he's probably going to break 100 rushing yards, probably a touchdown.
That's who I have as well. That's who I picked. I picked Judkins as well because I don't want to go with the obvious names, but no, you nailed it. I believe so as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a closer game than what people think. But you might have a running back for this matchup, so we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, moving on. We have Josh's team, the Rollbacks, against Cole's team, the Honeybees. Just a quick question, because you're from Alabama, obviously.
Yes.
Is that the official name of the dance team for Alabama State?
Yes. And did you they said it was like a Florida A&M announcer said about them live at a game?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So he just like gave them that name?
Yeah, he literally just said it. Like, and there was so much backlash on him.
Oh, dang.
Like Peso Ozempic or whatever. That is wild.
Oh man, that's risky this day and age.
It is,
but it's Alabama, so it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this matchup. What do you see?
I got to give it to Josh. I just like his team. I think this team's finally going to come together this week. Nico has a good matchup against Baltimore. Justin Jefferson does have a tough matchup this week against the Browns, but he's just going to get force-fed. Worthy's opened up that Chiefs offense. We saw what they did against the Ravens last week. I think he pops off. McBride's playing Tennessee. McBride might have a 40 bomb. You never know. I like Benson, too, against Tennessee. Tennessee's defense sucks. The whole organization sucks, and they should just get completely wiped off of the NFL. They're absolutely terrible. As a Titans fan, I can say that. But, yeah, I mean, it's just if Josh's team plays how they should, he should easily handle this game and probably be the number one scorer this week in the league.
Yeah, I really like before I get too crazy into it, I really like this is my start of the week. My start of the week here is Scatabo. I think against New Orleans, I think that man's a wrecking ball, man. That dude is like, I don't even know if I can compare him to anyone. Maybe Peyton Hillis for the Cleveland Browns back in the day, white boy.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully he's better and has a longer career. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much to say here. Cole's team. Cole's missing Golden. He's missing CD. He has Bill in the flex, and Bill's in a committee. Yeah, I just don't think he has enough firepower, especially if Bucky Irving is not going to play. I think that will decide the matchup overall. But I just think Josh has too much firepower here, and Nico Collins is facing a terrible, terrible Baltimore defense, man. And they just lost a bunch of people too on the defensive side. I don't know if it's going to impact this week's availability, but they lost a lot of people during the game, like a lot of DBs. So, yeah, I think Josh is going to be one of the highest scorers here. This was going to be my Womping of the week, and it very well could be. But I have someone else that I think could have a bigger beatdown later. But, yeah, totally agree with you. Moving on to our second to last matchup here. We have the Masad Jake's team against Zach's team. Yeah. What do you think about this one?
I'm just going to call this. This is a bye week for Jake. Zach's team, he has Adunze out. Lamar's going to be out. I mean, I do like Zach's running backs. Like I said before, Kelsey could have a decent game. Higgins could turn it around, but I still just don't think that he's going to have to start Christian Kirk and Luke McCaffrey this week at receiver. So I just don't see that going well for him at all.
Goodness gracious, that is disgusting. I threw up a little bit. No, I mean you can't look at the Lamar thing because he does have Justin Fields against Dallas. But yeah, like you said, Jake has too much going on, and I mean, aside from like an earthquake happening during each one of Jake's players' games, in the exact spot in the epicenter of the earthquake is underneath the stadium of each game. Um, I don't think Jake loses this at all. I think it's a beatdown. Probably the biggest this league has ever seen. That's that's what Trump would say, the biggest ever. So we'll go there. My start of the week here is a sneaky one, Drake May. I really like Drake May against Buffalo. I think this is a statement game by the young sophomore quarterback going against Josh Allen. I think he wants to show Josh Allen what he has, and I think it's a close game actually. Um, the Patriots just beat down the Carolina Panthers. Not saying much, but the Panthers just beat down the Falcons the week before. So I think Drake May is going to be the start of the week here. You have a start of the week?
I actually agree. I was going to go Drake May also.
Oh, nice, sweet.
Yep. Yep.
That's our second in a row, I think.
Yep.
All right, last matchup. I like to yield to the other person with my matchup first.
All right, we got the little spoon that could versus Randy's nuts. Both quarterbacks are out. Looks like.
Yeah.
Who are you thinking about? Give me a couple options of quarterbacks you think you're gonna try to get.
Well, the thing is, man.
I mean, I have Brock Purdy if you really wanted him.
Well, I don't know if I want him. He's probably not going to play this week. He didn't practice, so I like you tried to squeak that in there, but you have no conscience when it comes to trading, so I have to look out for you. But I knew you knew that. I knew you knew that. But yeah, we're both going to have to pick up somebody. I have a couple guys in mind, but no one really stands up to me. Like I just want someone who's going to have a solid floor. And that's what I liked about Caleb Williams. I saw his rushing upside as a solid floor. I did not see him scoring less than 10 points for me this week, and it ended up costing me my matchup. I watched the whole game. Not to go in a rabbit hole. I know it's not about this, but yeah, there were so many opportunities he had to rush. So I just need someone who's going to have a decent matchup and a solid floor. There's a couple guys I'm looking at, but just in case Randy's watching, I don't want to say who. So because he needs a quarterback too. So.
Oh yeah.
But what's your prediction for this matchup?
I got you over Randy. I don't like him starting Travis Hunter. I think he should pull him out and put in literally anyone else. It's kind of tough. I think. Oh, it's not tough. You're gonna win. I like your team a lot better matchup wise. Just looking across the board at just starting running backs against the RB2s. I like yours way better. I think you have a higher upside place. It looks like almost every single one of his players have a bad matchup this week. I don't know. I just like yours, and I think my start of the week is I might have to give it to Woody. I think Woody's gonna keep it going right here. He might even score a touchdown. We'll see. I don't know. I like it.
He had two last week. And he's playing Baltimore, which has been terrible against the run. My start of the week here, I also took my team. I don't want to lie on here. There's part of me superstitious-wise that makes me – I really want to pick the other team just not to jinx my team. But I want to be honest, which is hard for me to do sometimes. So I'm going to pick my team. My start of the week is the Lions defense here against Cincinnati, against Jake Browning. I think the Lions had the best defense last week. I played them against the Browns. I think they might do even better. They had 22 points against the Browns. I think they might kill Jake Browning. But it'll depend on those cornerbacks being healthy. But I think Travis Etienne on the other side could have a big game. Travis Etienne has looked good. He started on my team. I drafted Travis Etienne.
Mm-hmm.
But, Travis Hunter, the thing about Travis Hunter that scares me, he's only playing a little bit more than 56% of snaps. But I think through 4 weeks of the season, we could easily put him in this box and say, oh, man, he's a halftime player. I just don't like to do that in fantasy, especially with unknowns, especially with super high drafted players. What if they come out next week and they're like, you know what? We need to play him 80% of snaps on offense. And he ends up being Travis Hunter. Debo Samuel. What if Terry McLaurin doesn't come back? Hunter Henry has had a nice floor. Zach Ertz has had his weeks. I don't count Randy out at all. I don't think Randy has a terrible team. He has options. But yeah, I think I squeak it out. Hopefully I make the median too. But yes, sir. All right. Well, how about this, guys? We're going to end the broadcast now. We've given you guys a lot of content. We've spent a lot of our time talking about your teams. Garrett and I are going to have some adult time. We're gonna talk about a trade. We're gonna end the stream, and maybe you'll see something across the screen there in a little bit. But thank you for spooning with us. For those of you who tuned in live, didn't see a lot of support this week. Didn't see any fire emojis. I expected one from Garrett just because he was going to be the guest. The least you could do is mark.
I didn't want to give it away. That's why I didn't like it.
No, fair enough. That's a little incognito. Yeah. Well, have a good week, everybody. Please spoon with us again, and watch the episode. I guess telling you to watch the episode on the episode doesn't really make sense because if you
watch future episodes.
Yes, watch future episodes. All right. Thanks for spooning with us. Later.